Today we have a Babylock Esante, and this machine has been used quite a bit. If you look at this, I'll bring you in a little closer and you can see there's a lot of black kind of dust and stuff all over the outside of this machine. It's an embroidery machine and it's used, I believe, based on the looks of it, this thing's used for a lot of embroidery. So this may be a workhorse in someone's workshop or craft room, I guess you would say. And the problem is it's birds nesting underneath. So with the shape that this machine is in, I'm pretty sure we're not having a problem with someone who doesn't know how to thread their machine. I'm pretty sure there's something going on here that we need to investigate. And so that's what we're going to do. So without any further ado, let's get to the teardown. Alright, we got her apart, and here's one problem right there. We've got a little bit of thread wrapped around her. So we'll get that off of there. That's not really causing too much of a problem with this thing operating. I haven't seen anything with the tension yet that has sounded the alarm. But we're going to clean all this tension area really good up in here. So you've got a pre-tensioner and then you got your tensioner. If I move this over, it'll retract all the tensions, so that's loose now and this is loose. So we'll clean all in there really well. Our check spring is working. We have a little bit of, proof that this thing earns its living right there. And it looks like all of our connections are good. So our connections to our servo for our tension look to be good. So now it's time to clean. So we're going to remove all this thread here, which is a fun job, let me tell you. We're going to clean all this out, and in this case we're going to vacuum first and then we'll take it over to the air to blow it out. And we will lubricate, and I will see you in a minute. So yeah, I guess you may not realize when your machine decides to eat a whole bunch of pink thread and white thread. But we got it off. Alright, so I know things kind of just flashed before everyone's eyes, so we got the machine back together now enough to test. I didn't find anything when I was cleaning it, and I made sure that I cleaned between all of the tension portions. So you have a pre-tensioner, you have your tensioner, and then you have a little post-tensioner. So we cleaned out all those surfaces. We made sure we're threaded. We've got something in here. We want to pick something anytime that I embroider to check how the stitches look, I want curves. So I do like the letter S or the letter O, so that I can get some curves in there so I can see how it looks throughout the entire process. I have not adjusted anything. So the bobbin case went back in just the way it came out, and we just want to see what we have here. One thing I am noticing is that they don't have something to stop our thread from going this way. We're going to see if that becomes an issue. I'm not sure because I don't embroider. One thing that I looked at and made sure that was good was the gears for the thread cutter, because that's something that on these machines a lot of times get gummed up with all kinds of lint and stuff. These looked great. They looked brand new. So, and we cleaned out all the black stuff from the inside and some of it from the outside. We're still not done with the outside cleaning yet. The black stuff, by the way, I think I mentioned it earlier, but I don't think I talked about what it was. It's the carbon from the brushes in the motor. So as the motor runs, you get little dust, carbon dust, that comes out. I'm very familiar with carbon dust, being an electrician in the Navy on submarines. We dealt with a lot of DC machines that had big, gigantic brushes, carbon brushes, and carbon would get everywhere, and that's what we did. We cleaned up those motors periodically to make sure that they would keep going. So I'm familiar with a little carbon dust here and there. And we are going to get going here and embroider some O's and see how we're looking. Okay, we got to finish sewing. We got a little happy face on here. Let's see how we're looking. So I can already see a problem. Can you see it? Look at the colors. So we have different colors on the bobbin and on the top. So in the top we have this color right here. In the bobbin thread we have this lighter color, this lighter blue color. And if we flip it over, let's see how we look. We have way too much thread showing, which is why we had... So our bobbin thread right now is too loose. It needs to be tighter in order to have 60 to 80% of the bobbin thread showing. So we're going to do a little adjustment on there. I'm not seeing the loops underneath that they talked about, but we definitely have a tension issue here. Now, it is absolutely possible that we fix the problem that they were having, because loops on the bottom means a lot of times that you have a problem with your upper tension. And cleaning out this whole upper tension assembly, there could have been something in there that I didn't see that came out when I cleaned it. Because when I use those brushes, sometimes they brush out a piece of lint, and all it takes is a little piece of lint stuck in there, and then those discs can't close all the way and provide that pressure if there's something in between them preventing them from closing. And that right there, if you have a little piece of lint in there that doesn't let them close all the way, you have little to no tension on your upper thread, and you'll get looping really bad. So we are going to tighten our bobbin case tension and then give it another try. Alright, we've changed the location of our next O. We're going to give it a try and see how we look. So good news, I'm happier with the tension. Bad news, what is that about? So let's talk about this for a second. What would cause this, right? What causes that the movement of our material? Well, it's the arm, and I haven't looked in the arm quite yet, so we could have an issue in here. Oh, that's really weird. That's a little different than looping on the bottom, if you ask me. Okay, so what we're going to do, because I didn't turn it off in between, maybe it didn't get its calibration in. Let's try that again. Okay. Apparently you have to be 10% smarter than the machinery that you operate. You see this right here? This lip? Yeah. It doesn't let the arm move the way it should. Yep. Okay. This is when we say the problem with your machine is the screwy operator. I bet you when the arm moves freely, we don't have a weird shaped O. And we're back. So we look at the top of this one. Wow, that looks much better when you don't block the movement of the arm. Okay. Good thing I didn't break anything, huh? And on the back side, now you can see up here in the top, see, this is why I do an O or S or something like that. But you see how right here on the sides, you're more towards that 80% of the bottom thread showing. And then on the top, you're closer to that 60 or even less, really, of that bobbin thread showing. So we are right in the middle of where we want to be. And I'm very happy with our tensions there. I love the look of this design. We may patent this for, you know, maybe I could sell that design right there on the website. Watch where your arm's going, folks. All right. So I'm very happy with this machine. I think it's doing very well. I think whatever was wrong with it, we've cleaned it out of that machine. And sometimes that's just the way it is. You clean it out and you don't know what it was. So we did need to do a slight adjustment on the tension. Just a quarter turn was all it took. And we are ready to go and sew another day. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to finish cleaning. So this arm needs a little bit of work for cleaning. The whole outside is going to be coated with this stuff. This is what I use. So this is like a, I don't know where, okay, there we go. 303 aerospace protectant, so it's a UV protectant. I use that on these machines. It glosses up the plastic, it hydrates the plastic, and it protects it from UV, so it's a really good product. I think there's a link below this video if you wanted to buy it off Amazon, and we get a small portion of that sale at no cost to you, because we have that as an Amazon affiliate. So now take a look at the before and after. So here's the after cleaning, and you've got a nice, I mean, look how nice that looks. And then when you look at the before there, you can see all the black carbon dust or whatever was on the outside of that machine is all gone now. And now we've got the nice, pretty shiny machine that's ready to go back to the work farm and embroider some more. Thanks for watching.